strength of a nation's currency is based on the strength of that nation's economy. And the American economy is by far the strongest in the world.
In less than 2 centuries, the United States transformed from a collection of rebellious colonies into the most powerful nation the modern world has ever seen. It did not begin as an empire. It did not inherit power. For much of its early history, it actively avoided global dominance. So how did the United States become a global superpower? The answer is not found in a single war.
We are America, second to none, and we own the finish line.
But in how America learned to turn crisis into control. The rise of the United States as a global superpower is one of the most significant developments in modern history. Unlike older empires built through centuries of monarchy and conquest, the United States emerged from a group of former colonies with limited resources and uncertain unity. Its journey toward global power involved internal conflict, rapid industrialization, territorial expansion, and 2 world wars that fundamentally altered the international order. This documentary traces that journey from the nation's early foundations to its position as a dominant force in the modern world. The origins of American power lie in the country's founding principles and early political structure. After declaring independence from Britain in 1776, the United States faced enormous challenges. The new nation lacked a strong central government, a stable economy, and international recognition. Yet the adoption of the Constitution in 1787 created a political framework that balanced authority with individual freedoms, allowing the country to evolve without constant collapse. This system encouraged innovation, private enterprise, and political participation in ways that were rare at the time. Geography also played a crucial role. The United States was separated from Europe by the Atlantic Ocean, reducing the immediate threat of invasion while allowing trade to flourish. Vast lands to the west provided resources and opportunities for expansion. During its early decades, the United States avoided entanglement in European conflicts, focusing instead on internal development and territorial consolidation. This period laid the institutional and economic foundations that would later support global influence. Throughout the 19th century, the United States expanded rapidly across the North American continent. Driven by the belief in manifest destiny, Americans moved westward, acquiring territory through purchases, treaties, and wars. This expansion dramatically increased the nation's resources, agricultural output, and strategic depth. At the same time, it intensified internal divisions, particularly over slavery. The American Civil War proved to be a defining moment. The conflict tested the nation's unity and industrial capacity on an unprecedented scale. The Union's victory preserved the federal system and ended slavery, while accelerating industrialization and centralizing power. Railroads, factories, and financial institutions expanded rapidly after the war, transforming the United States into one of the world's leading industrial economies by the late 19th century. By the 1890s, the United States was no longer an inward-looking republic. Its industrial output rivaled that of European powers, and its growing navy signaled a shift toward international engagement. The Spanish-American War of 1898 marked the United States' first major step onto the global stage. The brief conflict resulted in American control over territories such as Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines. While controversial, this expansion signaled that the United States was willing to project power beyond its borders. The construction of the Panama Canal further enhanced its global reach by connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. World War I presented a new challenge. Initially neutral, the United States entered the war in 1917, tipping the balance in favor of the Allies. American industrial capacity, financial resources, and manpower proved decisive. Although the United States retreated into partial isolation after the war, its economic and military influence had grown significantly. It emerged as a major creditor nation and an essential player in global affairs. The interwar period exposed the limits of American isolationism. The Great Depression of the 1930s revealed the interconnected nature of the global economy, while rising authoritarian regimes threatened international stability. When World War II erupted, the United States again initially remained neutral. That stance changed after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. World War II transformed the United States more than any previous conflict. The nation became the arsenal of democracy, supplying allies with weapons, vehicles, and resources on an unprecedented scale. American industry reached levels of production unmatched in history, while its military expanded across Europe and the Pacific. By the war's end, much of the world lay in ruins, but the United States emerged economically strengthened, militarily dominant, and politically influential. After World War II, the United States played a central role in shaping the new global order. Institutions such as the United Nations, the International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank were created with strong American influence. The Marshall Plan helped rebuild Western Europe, strengthening alliances and stabilizing economies. The Cold War defined American global strategy for nearly half a century. Facing the Soviet Union, the United States expanded its military presence worldwide, formed alliances such as NATO, and invested heavily in technological innovation. Conflicts in Korea, Vietnam, and elsewhere reflected the ideological struggle between capitalism and communism. Despite setbacks, the United States maintained economic leadership and cultural influence, while the Soviet system eventually collapsed in 1991. With the end of the Cold War, the United States entered a period of unmatched global dominance. Its military reach, economic power, and cultural presence were unrivaled. American technology companies reshaped communication and commerce, while the US dollar remained central to global finance. However, this dominance also brought new challenges: military interventions, financial crises, and the rise of new powers such as China tested American leadership. The United States continues to play a central role in global affairs, but its position is now shaped by competition, cooperation, and internal debate. The rise of the United States as a global superpower was not the result of a single event, but a long process shaped by geography, institutions, economic growth, and global conflict. Its influence has brought both stability and controversy, opportunity and tension. Understanding how the United States rose helps explain the modern world and the responsibilities that come with power in an interconnected global system.